Good day, ma'am. The topic I am going to discuss is the origin of parole. Derive Origin of parole derived from the French word parole d'honneur, meaning word of honor, and its use in connection with the release of prisoners was derived from the idea that they were released on their word of honor. So, parole derived from the French word parole d'honneur, or meaning to say word of honor. So, in the sense that it is being used to define sa ilang idea nga gi-release ang usa ka prisoner after her sentence through the agreement that stands as word of honor or parole nga gi-grant. So, the practice of allowing prisoner to be released from prison before serving the sentence of imprisonment pronounced by the court goes back at least to 18th century England. At that time, almost all serious crimes were punishable with death, but only a small proportion of those who were convicted of felonies were executed. The majority of those who were sentenced to death were pardoned by the king, but their pardon was granted on the condition that they consent to be transported to one of the colonies where labor was required, America and Australia. So, even some of prisoner are gi-sentenced to death or gi-execute to, so there are some lucky during 18th century England nga grantan sila og pardon sa king pero with a complement. So what is the complement? So ang complement is musugot ang prisoner nga i-transport sa other colonies nga kung asa their sentence og serbisyo is still needed. So eventually, the courts were given power to pronounce sentence of transportation that were also modified by executive action. In particular, they developed the system ticket of leave, under which a convict detained under a sentence of transportation was allowed a measure of freedom or the right to return to England in return for good behavior. So, na-develop ang system nga gitawag og ticket to leave. So, unsay purpose ani sa katong mga prisoner nga ang sentence of transportation is ma-allowed sila nga naay freedom ma-return sa England in complement sa ilahang maayong behavior. So, when the sentence of transportation was abolished in the mid-19th century, the sentence that replaced it in English law incorporated the same procedure under a different name, release under license. The release was decided by the executive government and was conditional on good behavior outside prison. If another offense was committed, the prisoner could be returned to prison to serve out the rest of the sentence, known as remand. So, during the mid-19th century, na-replace transportation into different term, and it is called release on license. So the decision on releasing is relying on the executive government. So in complements pud nga na inigawa sa prisoner bisag wala pa nahuman iyang sentence is dapat magpakita siya good behavior outside prison. So if the released prisoner naka-commit na pud og crime, so obviously ma-return siya sa prison para sa iyahang padayunon og serve iyang sentensya. So the remaining sentence nga iyahang gibilin inside the facility, he will be continue serving it. So, in England, the system of release from sentence of penal servitude became almost inflexible by the later years at the 19th century, with the result that all prisoners serving the sentence were released after serving a fixed and predetermined portion of it. In the United States, however, the principle of the indeterminate sentence became widely accepted and eventually formed the basis of the sentence law of many states. So mao ni nga ang origin sa parol ang nasunod. So it is widely influenced to every state. It is widely the basis or influence to every state sa implementation of rules when it comes to parole. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.